This is Osamu Sato. He's a Japanese man, but more importantly, he's a Japanese artist. So you know what that means. Actually, no. It's more like this. Since Sato is an artist, you'd be inclined to believe he would appreciate all art forms. Music, movies, video games? Well, you'd be wrong. He despises them. In fact, he rejects the very idea of video games, specifically racing games, in which he described them as boring. You know what? I can't even disagree there. Wait, why am I even telling you this? Because his dislike of racing games eventually led him to creating the game we're gonna be looking at today. He actually said that when playing racing games, he imagined the possibilities of smashing the car into a wall and being transported into another dimension. Wow. So, we arrived to the PlayStation 1's game, LSD, or LSD subtitled Dream Emulator, a game which was designed to be essentially a dreaming simulator. Now that does sound cool. I mean, imagine all the weird stuff that could happen. Well, it gets weird before you even push the start button. Oh, this is a totally normal intro. Strange creatures getting Thanos'd, Torii gates, sumo wrestlers, eyeballs? Wait, what did that say? In limbo, the silent dream? Man, and here I thought the game was referencing the drug LSD. After all, the Wikipedia for this game says the name LSD was used to market to hippies. Wouldn't hippies just go do some drugs? Why would they get a PS1 game? Or wait, is it In Lunacy the Savage Dream? Laughter the Spiritual Dream? Who cares? Finally, we get to the main menu. While it looks pretty complicated, most of it is just for looks. And may I say, what a nice sound. The only stuff that matters on this screen is that it's day one, but since this game is about dreaming, I think they'd call it night one. Start? You know. Load? You know. Graph? We'll come back to that. Shake on?
I'll do what I want, when I want, and how I want.
Alright, let's just start this thing. Well, I'm dreaming about a house. My house? My neighbor's house? Who knows? This is probably a good time as any to talk about the game's controls. Since the PlayStation 1's controller doesn't have analog sticks, you have to use the D-pad to move around. To look up and down, you have to use the buttons on the controller. You have to press triangle to look up, and to look down, you have to press... I'm sorry, but what was that? See, I knew I wasn't schizophrenic. There were people living in my walls. I guess if you consider that people. So this creature touches me, and now I fade up from white, and I'm in a rundown city? Yep, just a typical dream. Every dream I have has some creature coming out of the wall. Oh God, what was that noise? Oh, that's just the sound the bridge makes? Why does every sound in this game have to scare you? And holding down the X button allows you to run. Let's never do that again. Hey, there's some dude on the pier. Maybe he can shed some light on this. Never mind. So allow me to try and explain what exactly is going on. We, right now, are dreaming. Each dream lasts 10 minutes. That is, unless you die. So you have 10 minutes to explore whatever has randomly generated. But you can visit new locations within that single dream by touching anything. And I do mean anything, walls, objects, people. Speaking of, looks like I found some random dead bodies on the side of the road. Now I know what you're thinking. These dead bodies will probably take you somewhere terrible. But only one way to know. You know a place is about to be bombed when the music makes you want to kill yourself. Oh yes, of course. Some munchkins colored in rainbow next to a sea urchin. I got my eyes on another prize though, because I can't help but notice the words love and a shack. Love shack? Oh man, I'm going in there. I gotta admit, this place looked way smaller on the outside. So my two choices are either a dog statue or a chair? I think I'll stick with the dog statue. Oh God, it wasn't a statue. Well, that was it for day one. You remember that weird graph option on the main menu? Finally, we get to see what that was talking about. Every time you wake up from a dream, your dream is placed on this very strange scale. You have 4 options: upper, dynamic, downer, static. All the stuff on the sides you can ignore, just like the main menu. Apparently getting murdered by a dog is in the dead center. I don't know how that works. Some may say that is the perfect dream. Well, maybe day 2 will be better. Oh, no, it's some creepy serial killer video. Yeah, so not every dream is interactive. Some dreams will be small little movie clips, like one with pigeons. But all of them equally give off a serial killer vibe. So if you haven't noticed, I haven't really spoken about any sort of objectives. That's 'cause there's not. This game isn't about fighting enemies or collecting weapons. It's just about exploring. Sort of. If you play this game 20 to 30 days, you will unlock a new feature, Flashback. This allows you to replay your last dream. But there is a negative to it. There's an enemy in the game called the Gray Man or the Shadow Man, but I just think of him as the neighborhood watch guy, or some guy who's gonna flash you in a park. If you spot this guy inside your dream, you won't be able to use your flashback. The only other reason to play this game is that, believe it or not, there is an ending, but you have to play it for 365 days. And the ending? The ending makes no sense unless you have a deep understanding of Japanese culture. But obviously, no one plays this game for the ending. They play it to see all the weird stuff. And trust me, there's weird stuff. What about dancing stuffed animals? Or potato people that have faces on the front and the back, one of which only moves when you move. And you already know about that guy. How about a spaceship from Blade Runner? A giant pink elephant that arises out of a void? A floating astronaut living above your apartment? A town where its citizens are walking Buddha statues? And floating samurai getting attacked by a sumo wrestler? Traversing some lady's womb and discovering a room full of fetuses? I'm not making that up, by the way. And witnessing a plane crash with that ghost from earlier. Do you know what's a good way to end off one crazy game? An even crazier price. This game goes from anywhere from $600 to $700 on eBay, and it only seems to be getting more and more. Taking that in perspective, is it worth it?
It's not worth it! It's just not worth it!